Yeah, buddy. Look at this episode. Look at this episode. We just had, no, we're not playing music, AI. We had a little bit of an issue because this one right here didn't know how to get it to record us, but I figured it out. So, welcome to episode 4. Why are you looking at me like that? Of Unapologetically Dee, with me, your host,
Get off my mic.
A, B, C, D. And this one right here is joining me today. Why do you think the episode is called From Side Eye to Soulmate? Well, it's because initially when we met, I was giving him a lot of side eyes because you will learn in this episode, fam.
15 years.
He thinks he's funny.
I've been getting side-eyed for 15 years.
Yes. And, God willing, I will be side-eyeing him for another 15 years moving forward. So I want to make sure that I set the scene for everybody and talk about how we met. Okay, first of all, this one's name is
Blake.
Blake. I met him because his company was a customer of my company. So he would come in to the office and crack jokes and this and that and the other. But it didn't necessarily matter because at that point, he was unavailable because
I was married.
he was married previously. So I was just like, everybody's laughing, whatever, whatever. Fast forward a little bit more, and he very interestingly asked a mutual friend of ours, is that the person that I think it is? And the reason that, was like, okay, is because
It was probably 3 years later
yeah.
that I was still coming to the office buying stuff from them, and I was no longer married. So I was curious who that was.
Yeah, he knew who it was. He knew who it was. He was asking about my shoes. We'll get into that too. All right, so here we are. So his company, my company, distribution company, if I don't think I talked about it, touched on it in my story, which was episode 1. However, my company distributed the things that his company installed. So think your computer needs X, Y, and Z in order for it to function. One of those things is cable. Okay, copper cable, if you want to be, real deep about it. His company installs it. So he was a customer of my company, but not a customer directly of mine. Fast forward a little bit more. He's not married. We decide that, we're going to go hang out. And we do that with a group of people. And one individual in particular could not pick up on the fact that we didn't necessarily want for him to continue.
We didn't need a third wheel.
We didn't need a third wheel. We didn't need a third wheel. But
No.
he wanted to be a third wheel. Whatever it is, what it is. I then decided to invite myself over.
No. Let's back up a little bit.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Ugh. Okay.
What? I invited you to. We decided to go to lunch.
Okay, we went to lunch. I forgot about that.
What was the name of that sandwich place?
Pickle Time.
Pickle Time sandwich place.
Uh-huh.
Go to lunch. She's wearing a Matt
Hasselbeck. We had a conversation
jersey
about him today, people. See what I'm wearing? The placement.
Anyway, we go to lunch, and she doesn't seem to be interested at all on what's going on. She's like staring out the window. I ain't getting no read off of it. So I talked to another mutual friend that we worked with each other. He worked with there at her office. And I said, he asked me how it went. I'm like, dude, I don't have any idea. She doesn't seem interested. On the flip side, she told him, oh, it was good, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, it wasn't all like that.
What?
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
But then, probably a couple weeks later, she texted me and said, are you good at, I don't know how to say it.
Well, hold up. See, here's the deal. The reason that I was a little rusty on going out with people is because for like the last 6 years, I was cool off of dudes, man. I mean, I hung out with some people, but like I was cool off of dudes because I just wanted to be a good mom. So he technically was the first person that I was going out on like a date with that could potentially be something more than just, hey, let's go grab a drink. Okay, go ahead.
So she texted me and asked me in basic terms if I knew how to give a massage. And I said yes. So I had just moved into a new place in Seattle.
I mean, dang, I didn't know you were going to tell him all that. Okay.
Well, and she basically invited herself over.
I invited myself over.
And she never left. 15 years later, here we are. That's the truth.
I never left. I left plenty of times. Okay. I left plenty.
But she wouldn't let me leave.
He wasn't going anywhere. He didn't want to go anywhere, if you want to be real about it. Okay, so I guess we probably should get into these questions because that, in a roundabout way, in a kind of a big nutshell, is the story of how we, the two of us, met. Because, we don't necessarily look like a couple that you would picture together, do we? Let's smile. But here we are, 15 years later. Okay.
Well, let's hear these questions, my wife.
All right, let's do it. So,
okay, first off, these are non-rehearsed questions. She said, I think she might have sent it to my email, but I said, I just want to hear just straight up raw answers to the questions. I didn't prep anything. I'm just winging it.
What does that say? Set up professional audio and audio settings. Oh, that's for that other platform that we're not quite using yet. Okay. No, he didn't rehearse anything. I mean, and that
I'm a dude.
I sent it to him and he didn't. I said, here, you can read the question so that you can be, somewhat prepared. He didn't. No, he didn't.
No.
So
it's not an interview.
Okay, we're just having a conversation. So we both had we both had a child entering into the marriage. Him, a girl, younger, me, a boy, older, and
7 and 14. My daughter was 7.
Yeah.
And her son was 14.
Yes. And so we had to figure out a way to mesh these two families together, which was not easy by any stretch of the imagination. Was it easy? No. But we had to be creative in the way that we did it. And we took some time before we actually introduced them to each other and before we as people met the other one's kids, because people, that is not something that you want to play around with. Absolutely not. No. So let's get into the questions of my husband. My bad, people. I had to double check something. All right. So we met at work. Oh, we didn't touch on our age gap. He robbed the cradle, people. How old is he? How old are you?
I'm 55, going on 30. Normally this is white, but she likes to be thinking she's out with a younger man.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I just don't like him looking like a ragamuffin or like he's 80 when he doesn't need to. That's what it is. Okay, so there's a 7-year age gap. I just turned 49 a couple of weeks ago. If you watched before I did the episode with my sister, what happened? Yeah, you guys know. Anyways, first impression. What was your first impression of me? Let's talk about that.
First impression. She wore some nice heels, nice shoes. So I like a little shoe fetish there. And she had some
he has a foot fetish.
Blue heels on that were nice. They were blue. They were blue.
They were black.
They were not.
Why would I wear blue heels
they were dark
turquoise dress?
You weren't in a dress, you had a pantsuit on. I remember. And then she had these tan boots I think they're in this house somewhere.
Probably not.
But yeah, that was the first impression. And then when she basically invited herself over the first time, she then texted me and said she was going to be late. And I was like, no.
But why did you say no? Tell the
Why?
people they want to know.
Because I had dated.
I wasn't the first chocolate latte.
She's not the first chocolate that I dated.
Uh-huh.
But the prior chocolate that I dated was habitually late. Like, you could tell her be there at 5 and she'd be there at 5:30. You could tell her no matter what you were doing, she was late. So she was on CP time. So when Devon had said, "Oh, I'm going to be late," I was like, "Please not, please not. This chocolate going to be late too." But it turns out she was at the lupus run for her mom, so she got some slack cut.
Mm-hmm. So when you watch the episode, the next one of me in part 2 with my beautiful queen of a mom, you will learn all about her journey with lupus. But that's if you like, subscribe, share, and love. That's what it is, people. That's what it is.
So my first impression was like, it was a good impression.
I mean, you just knew.
She came over the first night, and she didn't leave until the morning time. Had some breakfast, and here we are, literally 15 years later.
What can I say, people? I like what I like.
And
I like what I like.
It's not always peaches and cream.
It ain't.
We got rough times, but the good
Yes.
outweighs the bad by far.
That's very true. I would not disagree with you there.
There's times I know she wants to choke me out, but that's okay.
With both hands, squeeze his neck. But you know,
I seen something today, a show that's coming on, and the guy goes, "I'm an acquired taste." Same here.
it's very true.
Not everybody likes Blake, but that's okay. But if you get to know me, I'm a pretty cool dude.
He's a good dude. And here is one of the things that stuck out to me the most with him when we very first got together. What do you think I'm gonna say?
Yeah, I listened to what you had to say.
He repeated stuff back to me that I had told him. Sometimes you look, take my hat back a little, please. You people know, fam, you know, you sit down with an individual and that individual acts as though they know what you're saying and they're hearing you and they're listening and they're so extremely interested. Don't get played. Don't get played. This one was a real one. He actually listened. He heard what I had to say and he repeated it back to me. And I was impressed by that because I had dealt with, you know, when you get fireworks and they're called duds when they don't work. I dealt with some duds in the past.
Yeah, she had some doozies.
I did.
Some of the stories are doozies, man.
They are.
I was like, why?
They you know, we're not gonna yeah. So anyway, so your first impression of me for the most part was a good one.
Yes.
A good one. Okay. So it went from knowing each other in a group setting to hanging out with each other in a more
intimate
setting, one-on-one, getting to know each other. Look, people, I don't like driving on the highway that you need to drive on to get from my house to where he used to live.
She lived in Kent, I lived North Seattle.
But nobody understands, really.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, okay.
People that know us,
a suburb,
we were about 20 miles away.
We were. And the traffic here in Seattle
2 hours away.
Is horrendous. But I got in my car and
every other weekend, when we didn't have our kids, when my daughter was at her mom's, she would come up with her 3 bags on a Friday and leave on a Sunday. And you know, when you're casually dating people, people have asked, how did you know? Oh, I said I knew when we'd have a great weekend with each other, and she'd go home, we'd say our goodbyes, and she'd be gone for an hour, and I'd be wondering what she was doing. I knew something was going on there. Because after getting divorced, I had no plans, no thoughts about being married again until this knucklehead showed up.
I didn't show up. He showed up in my space, people. He came into my office. I didn't go to his where he was working at. He came to where I was.
Yeah, but she invited herself over to my house.
I mean, I did because I kind of like, it was kind of easy to peep out. Like when somebody, I already knew it wasn't going to be very difficult,
So
because you were a man, a man.
it's PG, babe.
All right, so we met at work. 7-year age gap. We already talked about that. He thought I was a pretty cool chick. At what point did it shift from we were just hanging out to
Well, my office was down by her work. My office was south, so she was coming over every weekend, and she got a new place, a little house with her son.
my first
So I
house,
was
y'all?
like,
My first house. I was so
maybe
excited.
I won't drive all the way home. I'll swing by. So a swing by turned in, oh, I must stay over one night to stay over another night to after a while I'm like, why are we doing this? So we said, why don't we just move in?
He talked mad-ish, you guys. He talked mad-ish because guess what? I can cook. But we're going to touch on this really quickly. We'll come back to it in a moment. I have been in a situation, and when I had to leave that situation, I didn't bring everything with me because the most important thing was just removing myself from something that was so extremely toxic because, oh, I know how to pick winners in all settings. Until now.
So she was cooking some dinner. And I came in the house. I was like, oh, it smells good. And there's like 3 or 4 pans on the stove. And I opened the lid on one. I'm like, oh, that looks so good. And then I opened another one. It was the same thing. I think 3 of them had the same stuff cooking because she had to leave. She left her big pans where she could have cooked one pan at the house she had to get out of.
Yeah. So that's us being real and honest and raw. Guess what? And by the way, he helped me move from that space. I asked him to do that too. And then just like some straight up G's, we got fitted up and went out for our first Halloween together, did we not?
Oh, we did.
We did. It was such a great time. Anyways, okay, so we digress. How would you say, this is such a good one, that the age difference from then until now, because we were talking about this the other day, you guys. We were talking about how I was only the tender, a young Bobby Brown, young Roni, tenderoni. I was a tenderoni, and you
How
was
old were you
already
when we
40.
met?
You were already
I was
40.
40. I was 40.
I was 33.
I really didn't. I honestly, I didn't really even think about the age. I still don't. The only time I think about the age now is if I don't dye my beard, I look like I'm 70, and she's looking like she's 35 because black don't crack.
I mean, we
Um,
don't, so.
I mean, she gets carded. She's out with her son. They think it's brother and sister.
Yeah.
So I really don't think about the age. It hasn't really thought about it.
I mean, I gotta keep him young, y'all. I gotta keep him young because, I can't be with no mountain man. First of all, we had to make sure that this was nice
I
and
had to shave.
because he wasn't coming on this show looking like a ragamuffin. That was not gonna happen. You understand this, right?
I'm getting paid, so hey.
He ain't getting paid a damn thing. All right,
What's your next question?
we had to blend our families, okay? We had to blend our families.
Not easy.
We talked about earlier, like how the age difference. It's interesting because there's a 7-year age. I just thought about that. A 7-year age difference between us.
And a saving it.
And
Addie was 7 and Derrick was 14.
7-year age difference between our kids. So
And now
that's, that's interesting, right?
they're 22 and 29.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes. Yes. And they both made the decision to move to Sunny
AZ.
Arizona. Okay, so what would you say was like one of the hardest things for us to merge our families together?
I'd say the hardest thing for us is me having a 7-year-old daughter that she lived with her mom most of the time. I had her on the week every other weekend and every Wednesday night. And she was definitely at first not warming up to Devana. Like, I'd say the hardest thing, if she had a question, she'd have to come, she'd want to whisper it in my ear instead of just asking me in front of Devana. And that was, and me being a dad, I want just, you guys need to get along, let's figure this out. And then my lovely wife here said it has to grow naturally. And at first
Good.
I struggled with that because I'm like, oh, I just want everybody to get along. But I finally just listened, and fast forward 15 years later, the whole family has a great relationship. Both the siblings have a great relationship, and it's all organically. Because I know, with Derrick, at first I wasn't trying to jump in, but there were some things I wanted to say, but I just had to be careful. That was hard
Mm-hmm.
because he had a dad. Um, but yeah, so I would say just how to navigate the waters between the two kids and how we interacted individually, me with Derrick, Devana with Addie, and then the two kids with each other, probably the hardest.
Yeah, because I told him, I said, look, you can't force any type of a relationship. And if you're trying to merge families, it's no different
No.
with potential soon to at this point, we figured, at the ages that we were, what our intentions were. Well, I knew that if he got with me, he wasn't going to be going nowhere else, but maybe he didn't know. Maybe he wasn't, but he knew, but he just, he knew. So anyway, we gonna go ahead and keep on moving forward. Give it your
What?
best advice.
Of what?
Any couple that is going to be blending families.
As in the color of the skin?
No, we haven't gotten to that.
I thought we were going.
You
That's
see
where
what I
you're
have
going
to
next.
deal with? No, I didn't say that. Blending families. It doesn't matter if they're all the same color or they're all different colors. Just blending families together, like a parent that has a child, or two parents that have children, or maybe just,
My best advice,
yes, your best advice.
the advice was from me: patience, a lot of patience, a shot of alcohol. When you're don't have patience, just go sit down by yourself and think through it. Because I'm a Marine, so I just want to plow right at everything, and I've had to learn that to finesse, and this one here has helped me learn how to finesse with that.
Because I'm a finesser.
So yeah, my friends that have blended families, it's always been patience. It's not always easy, but if you have patience, you'll come out the other end.
Yeah, high five, soulmate. I didn't ask for the black hand side. The black hand side. He don't know nothing about that, you guys. He don't know nothing about that. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay, maybe. Battles and breakthroughs. Not breakthroughs. Breakthroughs. BREAK. Throughs. Trust. That's a good topic for us to cover.
This one.
Look, in part 2 of my Who I Am, your host, Dee, you're going to learn a little bit more about the reason that I have trust issues when it comes to people in general. Relationships are 70% of it. 30% of it comes from professional settings and individuals that I thought had my back that really didn't, and you've been a witness to that, right?
Yeah,
So,
yes.
all right, so let's talk about how on your side, how you have felt. Oh, are you gazing into my eyes?
No, I'm not gazing.
Yes, you are. You're trying to open up the portal. We have
The
something called the
portal.
portal. You were.
What? What?
I'm trying to.
We might have to kill the camera for that.
No, camera's not getting killed. How would you say that my trust issues have affected you in our relationship? Talk about a couple of things. Think about a couple of things that you would highlight, I guess, is the easiest way. Because otherwise we could talk about this for a very long time.
Well, I think a lot of couples have trust issues. One, somebody in that relationship has gotten burned hard. And there's a lot of men and women that put their relationships at risk for stupid shit. Excuse my language. First, you said I couldn't swear, but they do, and
I knew it was going to happen.
But I myself is if I'm in a relationship, even if it's casual, that's the one thing we said when we were dating. I said, if we're gonna do this, then on the physical side, I'm only doing it with you. So
I got a text at work.
It can be casual, but you ain't being casual with anybody else but me. And if you can agree with that, then we can keep going.
And that was music to my ears, y'all, because I was used to do
because I just in my own life, I've never ever, if I'm with somebody, why am I going to jeopardize that for 10 minutes with somebody else? It's just not worth it. If you don't want to be with that person, then say la vie and go be with that another person, or say you don't want to be in a relationship and you can do so all your oats you want.
See?
But if you are going to be in a relationship, even if it's casual, just set your boundaries. So I think a lot of men out there, they're dumb and they screw it up for what? For 5 minutes with some chick, for some rando.
So you think that then my trust issues affect, I mean, like, how do they actually like make you feel? Like,
back then it made me mad.
Why did it make you mad?
Because my integrity being in question, and I'm like, that's not who I am.
Yeah, but
and it took a while. It took a while to sink in her little thick head that I wasn't going anywhere.
He said that. Okay, I'm gonna let that one slide because we're on this platform. I'm gonna let that slide. But when the cameras stop, sorry, my bad. When the camera stops recording,
I'll take my beating, but that's okay.
You're not gonna. You can't. I don't think you can. He's not gonna do that. But I have a mouthpiece. I didn't need your reaffirming.
Yeah, you did.
No. Okay, so
for me, I've never had any trust issues with her
because
I just don't think. I'm thinking.
Did you ever have? I mean, I'm sure we've probably talked about this before, but like, did you ever have like you never had that as a problem?
No,
people weren't.
No, a couple times when I was casually dating, but I peeped it out quick and asked the questions and
put the kibosh to it.
Yeah, I said either we're together, or if you want to be somebody else, we done.
You can't be out there.
Nope.
Like LL said.
What?
Oh yeah, my most favorite. You see, I have a thing for bald men. I have a thing. Okay. Want to keep it moving?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I found out why am I not in the picture anymore?
You're right there.
Yeah, but it's like, there I am. You can't just have you in the picture. Okay, so the question is, Or not, it's not a question. It's not a question. It's this. I found this out a little bit later, and I had it happen to me, and he had it happen to him. We had previous partners try to inch their way back into the mix. Talk about that for a moment. I'll talk about it, and he'll talk about it, and then we can come together and talk about it together. Yeah.
Well, I was dating somebody before I met her, and she moved away, so I broke it off. And then, like, I don't know, me and Devonna had been dating, I want to say 6 months. Was it 6 months?
Was it 6 months?
I don't know.
Yeah, you
I
can.
can't. No, I don't. I can't remember.
Yeah, you can. When did you tell me I was your girlfriend? He told somebody I was his girlfriend. He didn't ask me, people. We went to a party for his friend's birthday.
50th birthday party.
Yeah, and it was so cool, you guys. We rode in a little party bus all around Seattle. And
at the Seattle Spaghetti Factory.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was called the Spaghetti Factory.
Is that the Spaghetti Factory?
Yep.
We were all sitting down.
Hi, Fruit Fly. He's trying to join the production.
And my friend I played Hoop Fest with him, and he came up to me, and I just said, "This is my girlfriend, Devonna."
And guess what I did? Just like this. Maybe not as obvious. Maybe it was a little bit more like that.
I think I said, "Is that okay?"
Hi.
I was like, "Is that okay?"
My name is Devonna. Yeah. You didn't ask me if it was okay. Your personality, you asked me if it was okay?
That was November
6th
of 2010.
How many years have we been together?
15.
So what year was it?
2010.
Why are you asking me like you are sure?
That was a short.
Do you see what I have to deal with?
No, that's correct. That is correct.
That is correct.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she agreed somewhat, so it worked.
Agreed.
It worked out.
It worked out, and here we are. Here we are.
But she said the LOVE first.
But wait a minute. So you had somebody finish the story about.
So I had somebody that moved back here, and reached out to me.
So she moved back from Canada.
Yeah. Moved back here, and just texted me out of the blue, asking me some dumb questions. What was it? How far the way a drive was to Sequim from Bellevue.
Sequim is a city. Sequim and Bellevue. Sequim and Bellevue are cities. Sequim and Port Angeles, which is where he grew up, country.
About 15 miles apart. Sequim to Bellevue is about a 2.5 hour drive.
And she needed to ask
me how long the drive was, because she lived in Bellevue.
Because she couldn't put it into MapQuest.
Yeah, MapQuest must not have worked that day.
Google Maps, one of them. What's the different platforms you can use for traffic?
MapQuest, I don't know.
Waves. Whatever. Anyway. All right. And then for me, I have been in a toxic relationship. The last relationship long-term that I was in before this one. 6.5 years of my life, from when I was a baby, 21, up to almost 28. And out of the blue, text, because back then in 2010, 2011 timeframe, you could do, I don't know, because I had never done it before, a text app on your computer or something.
Yeah. You could text and you couldn't see where it's coming from.
So that's what happened. My family's nickname for me is Bond. So, and he picked that up, this person that I was with, and he says, "Can we be friends?" And then all of a sudden, from an unknown number, which back in the day, now you just block them, or you just, whatever. Don't answer it. I don't answer unknown numbers. If you don't want to tell me who you are, I don't answer your phone call. Right?
Yep.
So I get a phone call from him, and he says to me, "Bond, can we be friends?" This is after I'm with this beautiful
white chocolate,
bald-headed man. I said, I don't need no more friends. I don't need to be friends with you. So we both had people that we were with before try to enter back into the picture.
They got the boot.
We had some issues. We had the trust issues. We had some things from me, from my side. It took a long time. Like, look, there are things that have happened along the time, our relationship, that have made me say, "Mm, I'm still dealing with things that happened to me in that toxic relationship. I'm still feeling some type of way." What do you think, fast forward some years later, made you feel like it was time to continue pushing forward and fighting, pushing forward through my trust issues, fighting for the marriage?
Because I loved you, and I want to finish this walk on earth with you and no one else. So why would I not?
Hmm.
That's I'm a pretty simple dude.
He
So
is pretty simple. He is pretty simple. So, what do you think was a turning point for me? Do you think that I still, how would you say I am now? Sorry if I'm like trying to figure this because this is off script, people. This is
no,
off
how
script.
I would
How would you say that I am now?
you finally got it.
You think so?
Yeah.
When do you think that that was?
I don't I think it just clicked. Because there's been every relationships you have ups and downs, you have your fights, you have your blowouts. Um and there's one this wasn't really has to do with trust, but I knew I wasn't going anywhere where she had a bill problem and needed to get paid, and I could have said, I'm out.
You sure could have.
And I just said, I sat there after she had told me, and I said, no, we just gonna put our big panties on, and we're gonna meet it head on. And we figured it out. And that's when I decided I'm not going anywhere.
Look, the repo man was coming, y'all.
Repo man was coming for
Lizard
a car.
Lick was we used to watch Lizard Lick towing. Don't hate, don't hate. Lizard Lick was coming for my car, y'all. Because guess what? This single mom was dealing with some things. And even though we were in a relationship, we weren't even at a stage where we were
No,
early on,
yeah,
right?
we it was probably 6, 7 months in.
And I mean, like, I am an independent woman. I wasn't asking this man for, I mean, I didn't even want to, as it is, I didn't even want to, like, really even
Let me know
tell you
about it.
that
But I
it
knew
was even
something
happening.
was weighing. So when she told me, I'm like, okay, let's figure it out and get it taken care of and keep trucking.
And he had a conversation with a very, very important individual that basically helped you.
Basically said, don't pay it, but help her figure out how to pay it.
And he did. He
And
helped me.
that's what we did.
And that's what we did. That's what we did. So, what would you say?
Technical difficulties.
When you set random alarms on your phone and they just go off. I don't know why I had a phone alarm set for 5:30, but I did. Um, let's get back on track. So we made a decision to fight for this was for our relationship because we weren't actually even married at this point. So he just decided that he wanted to continue on down the path
Yeah.
with me, right? It's because I was worth it, y'all. I mean, we 15 years later, so I must have been worth something, right? Um, there was something that I didn't touch on before that I want to make sure that I have you give your input on because this is an important one. We're going to reverse it back a little bit, people. What do you think was the hardest part about bringing Derrick and Addie together? That's
The
been really important.
hardest part.
Yeah.
Just dealing with those two, because I say the hardest part is, so Addie's mom is 100% in the picture. Great mom. I mean, my ex-wife gave me a beautiful daughter, and they're very close. And I think you worried about if she said something that Addie didn't like, that she was going to run back to her mom and tell her, and it was just going to cause all this big storm. And at first I was like, that's not going to happen. And then I slowly thought about it. Yeah, that could happen. On the flip side, with Derrick, um, I wasn't worried about Derrick going to go tell his dad anything. It was hard. Derrick's, was 14. So this one here was mom and dad for Derrick. I mean, Johnny, his grandpa's been in his life his whole life, but she played both roles. And for her, it took even a while for her to relinquish the role of dad. It took years to realize that Whitey here is not going anywhere and he wants to have a relationship with her son. And I would say if I would have a son, I'd want it to be like Derrick. And I don't consider Derrick my stepson. I consider him my son.
You
So
guys see, I
he
mean,
makes it easy. He's a good kid, and he ain't perfect, but he's a good kid. He works hard. Um, he loves his family. So yeah.
he is. He is fantastic.
So
And
that getting those two, and even their relationship wasn't instantaneously. When they were that young, there was like a 7-year-old and 14, and she looked up to Derrick, and she's got a tattoo of his high school football and all this stuff. I think in the last year, since they both live in Arizona, their relationship has organically grown also. So
it has. And as parents, like we said earlier, or maybe we both are saying it now, is that blending families,
it's tough.
it's hard. It ain't easy. It
And
is.
she's a spec, so she's very guarded. So when Derrick dated a certain person or anything, she'd be like, "All right, who's this girl? What is she about?" She's very protected over her big brother. So
Just like any sibling.
yep,
Just like any sibling, she wants to make sure that her brother has a good partner,
yep.
right? And he's the same way with her. So we love that. And we didn't have to make that happen. That happened organically. Organically, people, that's what it's all about. Okay, so we're gonna go back to us and our relations. Sorry, we had to go back to that question. It was really important. Um, Whenever we did have an issue, what would you say got us back on track? When it came to the trust, what would you say got us back into the space that we needed to be in order to be able to push forward?
Both parties pulling back, and like in my past, being in the military, sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you can't see the bigger picture. Sometimes you got to take that helicopter you're in, or that jet you're in, or that whatever thing you're in. You got to pull back and get high enough above everything and look at the big picture of what's going on in your life and really figure out what's important and what bad stuff you're still holding on to from a past relationship. Is that really truly what's happening? And I think for both, it's like just take a deep breath and ask yourself, because I have to do it. Do you really think that's what that person's doing to you?
For real?
Yeah.
You really think like that?
Yeah. And you've taught me that more than anybody else. Just really think, you really think that person woke up today and said, "Oh, I'm going to do this because I don't like him and I don't want to be in that relationship"? No, because you get stuck in the heat of the moment. And when you're mad, you'll say stuff that happens in your past. And it might not even happen with that person you're with. It could have happened with somebody else, but you get a trigger and you get locked on, and then you're knee deep in crap that could have happened 10 years ago with somebody else, but it's resurfaced and you think that person's doing the same stuff.
Triggers.
In reality, if you just pull your helicopter up higher, look down, and assess the situation,
Assess.
99 out of 100,
assess.
you probably are getting it wrong and you need to rethink it, what's going on.
Reassess.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say that's. And I learn every day because I'm a stubborn Marine, as stubborn as you can get.
He's not lying on that one.
So, yeah, the bigger picture.
Yes. Look at you. Okay.
What's next?
Our differences. Golf versus cycling.
Differences. She's a clean freak.
He is not.
She is a clean freak.
He
Clean
ain't.
freak. The kitchen can be spotless, like spotless.
Uh-huh.
And by God, you better take a handy wipe and wipe that down. The countertop. We have a cat.
Disinfect that
But you better
countertop.
disinfect that countertop twice before you even think about cooking.
Yes.
Me, not so much. It's
if you know,
I just cleaned it 2 hours ago.
No.
We're whipping and flipping on it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So yeah, so clean.
Mm-hmm.
She's fitted. Her and her son, her outfits, they are immaculate.
Come on now.
She matches.
Come on now.
I'm a jeans and t-shirt dude, right?
Come on now.
If I was to
Come on now.
sit down. Sit down. So that's the other thing. You go in my closet, it's either jeans and a t-shirt. Jeans and t-shirt.
When we got together, he had his t-shirts on a hanger, you people. T-shirts on a hanger.
They still are.
Mm-hmm. They are.
So she and Derrick are very color coordinated. Mine is it clean? Does it fit? And am I comfortable? I'm good if they fall in that category.
I've helped him elevate his wardrobe, people.
Other differences.
You're a golfer.
I'm a golfer. She is not.
I'm a cycle.
She teaches cycling. It kills me if I go in that class. I go support.
He goes
once a month. I'll go the whole time.
Huh?
Maybe once every 3 months. It's just not my jam. I'd rather
it's not his jam, and that's okay.
It's not my jam.
That's okay. By the way, when's our golf round?
Commercial break. No, I'm just joking.
I asked him to schedule a golf round for us at the beginning before it got warm here. And guess what, people? It is almost October, and we have not gone golf. However, he has gone golf multiple times without me, with your posse, his fellow military
So
friends.
what other differences?
Okay.
No, that's good.
We talked about that, how we support each other anyway. I want to go golfing with him, but we haven't been able to do it seriously yet.
But she supports.
I want him to
She knows it's my outlet.
Yeah, so he's in a men's golf club, or like whenever he wants to go golfing, I'm like, yeah, go do your thing, because I know
He's
how.
like, you're going to be golfing this weekend, right? Yeah, you are. You're going to be gone Saturday, right? Yeah. And I said, yes, I am, and Sunday.
That does happen sometimes, and I'm cool with it though, because he works really very hard during the week, and you need to have an outlet. And being that we live here in the Pacific Northwest, there's a small window in which you can schedule things like that, where you can involve yourself in outdoor activities, right? Because, well, for him, sometimes he don't care. Anyways, all right. We already talked about how we make space for passions that we don't share. Let's move on to the big one. Interracial marriage. Because even though we're in the Pacific Northwest, people, you still get.
I don't know how many times I'll be driving and I see somebody staring. I just want to roll down the window and go, have you ever seen two people that are different colors with each other? It's very interesting that some people, like, if we go out somewhere, sometimes I'll purposely walk like 3 or 4 steps behind her, just because she's looks 35, so she's getting all the sneak peeks from guys.
Sneak peeks.
Like we went out somewhere and she was walking and she was getting some eyes, and I was like 3 or 4 steps, and I was laughing to myself. So it's very enjoyable when I walk up beside her and I get to slap her on her ass and say, "Hey, let's go." And the looks on the other people's faces are like, "How does this bald white guy with his chocolate?"
Not the
So
answer I was expecting for you to give, but
it,
again, we're real and we
it,
try.
it is very interesting in
Like,
this day and
subscribe.
age of in our worlds, how our world is right now, because
Yeah, it is.
it's huge, because there are so many people on both sides that black and white. When Why does it have to be that way? I feel like the narrative our country is pushed by the media and other people around it. They want to make the divide. They, no matter how you want to, no matter how you want to say it, if you took everybody and you just made them wear a white suit that you couldn't see anything, all they were white, then what would they do? No one would have anything to complain about or bitch about or moan about.
Maybe we should pick a different color.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying a clear suit, whatever, or a gray suit, and everybody you couldn't see their face. It was just like a Marvel thing where the person, it's all solid. You can't see the skin
Okay, we're
color.
gonna
What
let
would you
that
do
one
then?
slide.
What?
What?
What did you say?
We gonna let that one slide.
Whatever.
Maybe a different color.
You know what I mean.
Pink suit. A
Uh,
pink suit, y'all.
a pink suit or a rainbow suit, whatever.
Rainbow colors. No, it's true though. Honestly. I mean, the way that this sounds, maybe not everybody would agree with me, but like when he and I got together, I was interested in him for who he is as an individual. And I looked past the color of your skin because to me, you could be green and be the most amazing. Well, I don't know if I'm doing the Captain Kirk thing, y'all, but
I'm Captain Kirk, though.
I'm an equal opportunity. It is all about who the person is in here and in here to me. That's my own personal how I feel. So we have our differences and we make passion, we make space for each other in our different spaces. Interracial relationships are not easy, regardless of where it is that you live.
Because you not only do you with the world, but even in your families. Um,
Yeah.
she comes from a big family. Like her mom, was it 9 or 8 brothers?
Yeah, nine.
Brothers and sisters. And I remember when I first met her mom, I could still remember the night, and I laugh now. But we were standing there, and she wasn't feeling good in the house, and she came down the steps, and she just turned and looked at me and goes, "Who are you?" And I looked up. I was like, I thought my Diaries of a Mad Black Woman. I'm like, I'm in trouble.
That's what you thought.
Yeah, because she was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Oh boy." But you go 15 years later, I couldn't ask for a better mother-in-law. Me and her have just a great relationship. We like a lot of the same TV shows. We just we get each other. So
You guys do get each other, but I don't know about your diary and my black one.
she and but just going to family functions,
Family functions,
football games,
for our child who was a superstar on the football field.
and being married to a black woman.
Yes. What do you love about it?
I like it all. But being with her, learning how, racism is, I don't care what you say. And you can disagree. I'm not going to argue with you, but racism is real in this world. I don't care how you can call it something else. In simple terms, people don't like each other because of the color of their skin, which is about going to be the dumbest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
I feel like the world would be so much better. I'm just going to tell a quick story on what she experienced. Is she was going through an interview for a job, and she had like 3 interviews, and they were all just telephone interviews. There was no Teams or Zoom calls, and they were loving her. They were just like, "We love your experience. I mean, you have 20 years of doing this. Your sales, it's great." And this was during the time of COVID, and she had like one more interview, and it was going to be a Teams interview. So I just happened to be working from home that day, and and I was upstairs, and the team interview started, and it probably lasted, mistake, correct me if I'm wrong, not too long.
No, it wasn't long.
And because when they literally saw what she looked like, the whole, oh, you're going to be great fit just shifted and it stopped. That's a fact
Mm-hmm.
because they saw that she was a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't tell that someone's black or white or purple or green by looking at their resume and their name. Sometimes you can make an assumptions that you can,
That's the thing, make an assumption,
but
right?
I'm saying
Or even how they talk.
or even how they talk.
Right.
So it's real. And anybody that says it's not, either you're white or you're black and you want, well, I'll argue with that because I'll prove you wrong because I've watched my wife live through it. And even when you go out, we went to Arizona.
You were gonna tell that story. You
We
see
went
why I'm
we
with this man?
we went
Look,
to
look, look,
Arizona.
look. Here you go.
We went to Arizona. I'm not going to name cities or anything like that. But we
No.
went to AZ and we went out to breakfast. And I wasn't being naive, but I wasn't thinking big picture stuff. And we sat down, and it was a small town. And my wife said, "I feel like they're looking at me like I'm a monkey." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "No, it's just a small town, and we're strangers." And she's like, "No, I really want you to just think and watch." So I just started looking around, and by God, they were looking at us like, how dare we come in there?
I
And
was ready to eat my
it
food.
had nothing to do that we were strangers. It
No.
was strictly because I was white and she was black.
And there was nobody else in that restaurant that looked like me, you guys.
None.
And like I didn't have no power because we were there. We were there, right?
So
So what do you
now
do?
you try not to put you in certain situations, but even now, there's times that you go out. And if you go somewhere new, there was even a bar where we live. We went in there and I felt it. And I even said, "Hey, we're not staying."
He did.
I could
He was
feel it.
like, I gotta protect my beautiful black queen.
So
Isn't that
racism
what
is
you
world.
done?
What? Yeah.
Gotta protect my
Racism is real. And, um, and I just want to touch on I'm going to touch on it just because the climate of our world and what happened to the man that was basically assassinated for his beliefs. Right, wrong, or indifferent should have never happened. You should not be assassinated because what you believe and you want to talk about it. You shouldn't. White man, black man, white woman, gray one, whatever color you are. Um, but the media pushes it. They push it, and the masses of people gobble it up. I feel like the world needs to pull their airplane back and look at the big picture of stuff and really think for themselves instead of having other people think for you. Really just think as a human. Take the media away, take all that noise that depends on what channel you're on. Take just as a human, God made us, just pull back and think. Just treat people how you want to be treated. That's all you gotta do. If everybody would do that, we would all be one big happy family.
I don't know if we'd be a happy family, but what
Well,
I will
I'm just saying
say
because
is that
you're not
one
gonna
of
get
the
along.
reasons that I appreciate and have respect for this man right here is because he's going to say that was not like a planned thing for him to talk about that. And, honestly, like you don't even know if I don't even know. Everybody is entitled to have their own opinion. I feel like you should be able to say what it is that you want to say, and that should be it. I also feel like a person is a person, and in the place that I grew up in, we didn't really, I mean, maybe some people did, but I personally didn't look at that. That was not something that I was looking at. And, for you and I being in a interracial relationship, I feel like we have our challenges. I was able to look at that situation, immediately pick up on the fact that people were looking at me in a weird type of way. He needed for me to explain that to him because why would he know? He wouldn't know.
And I'd say I would know somewhat because I was stationed in North Carolina, and on my way there, um, back in 1989, I picked up two friends. A friend lived in Compton, California,
Compton, y'all.
and I had a little Isuzu pickup. I pulled up in front of his house, and he said, "You need to park that in the garage." I said, "Okay." So then we went and picked another friend up, and Travis Rucker was black. He's the one who lived in Compton, and then
Name dropping people.
um,
Travis, if you out there,
Travis,
you
I've looked at you for years.
subscribe to Unapologetically Dee.
And then my other friend Nick Knocker, who's
Nicholas.
he rode with us. So we drove from Compton to North Carolina, and I think it was Mississippi, Nashville. We had to get gas, and so we pulled in, and we were getting gas. And I don't remember where in Nashville, but it was in that part of the area. And I walked into the gas station, and there was two black police officers sitting there. And here I am, 19-year-old white kid, not really knowing anything. And they said to me, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Getting gas, sir." He's like, "Are you in the military?" I said, "Yes." He's like, "Well, you need to get your gas and you need to get out of here because you shouldn't be here after it's dark." So that was the one time I was like rude awakening about, whoa, I might get my butt kicked because of my skin color. So when I lived in North Carolina, it was probably 50-50. Um, and when I grew up in Port Angeles, I think there was two black families, and I have an adopted brother named Michael. So I kind of knew
Who is black?
who's black. But yeah, so I had a little bit of inkling how things were, but then I didn't really see a ton of racism in North Carolina. And in the Marine Corps, we call it dark green. Everybody's green, light green and dark green. So you just learn to, especially if you're in war, I could care less if you were clear, as long as you're going to help me get back home. So you kind of put your differences aside and say, "Who? I don't care who you're from,
Which is
what
crazy
race
to
or
me.
whatever it is. All I know is if you're going to help me not let the bullets hit me, and I'm going to make it home safe."
Which is wild to me. Because how can you be like that in such an important same thing with like any type of activity that is a professional setting, military, the biggest stage, first responders. In that scenario, if you are of opposite races, you don't give a shit. You don't, sorry, people, you don't care if the person that is your partner or has your back has a different skin tone than you. All you care about is that that person is going to make sure that you make it home.
That they're going to pick you up, firemen, and carry you out. That's it.
That is the only thing that you're thinking about. So I just don't, it's hard for me to understand why that can't be the case when it comes to everyday life. Everybody is made differently. That is the beauty of the world that we live in, because if everybody was the same, it would be vanilla, like Jack Harlow says. If you know, you know. We got to keep it pushing.
Because the one thing is like, trust me, there's a lot of people in this world that I don't get along with.
A lot of them.
And it doesn't matter their race, color, ethnic background. I just don't get along with them. And I know there's people that don't get along with me. And it has nothing to do with my skin color.
It doesn't.
What?
It doesn't. It doesn't. What would you say makes our love unapologetic? Because it is definitely unapologetic. And first of all, why don't you tell the people what unapologetic means to you?
In simple terms, I'm not I'd say for me, you get what you get. I don't sugarcoat stuff. Like I said earlier, I'm an acquired taste. I fight hard. I love hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, you have those people you meet that everybody they're around, they try to please that person when they're with that person. I've never been that way.
Mm.
If you're irritating me, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna. If there's I've gotten in trouble in my personal life, my work life. I walk in a room and there's an elephant in the room, and I'll say something.
Mhm.
Like I'll go back to a meeting years ago in one of my old companies, and they wanted me to be in this committee meeting, and I didn't want to. They said, "Come on, we really want you to. We want your interaction. We want your opinions." So first meeting, when you have a meetings, they read the bulletins of the last meeting, the bullet points, and they read the bulletin points about a PO, how to get a PO, and it'd been on there for 6 months. And I said, "Stop!" I said, "Hang on a second." I said, "Why is it taking you 6 months to figure out something that could have been one meeting? What have you guys been doing for 6 months? You could have heard a pin drop." And I'm like, "What? The elephant?" And then they looked at him like, "Okay, we'll figure that out today." So I've always been say it like it is. I'm not going to be somebody who I'm not. Gets me in trouble. Gets me in trouble with my wife.
It gets us both in trouble separately, and it gets us in trouble with each other.
But
Well,
she'll say
actually,
something I know. She'll say something, and she knows that I was going to get mad, but she'll still say it. And same with me because I got to get it off my. I got to say it because if I didn't say it, it's not me. So that's what I say. Anna Paula, just be who you are.
Mhm.
Do not change
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, there's a reel out there that there's a guy narrating. He's talking about when you die, everybody's going to get together. They're going to have a funeral. And then after the ceremony, an hour later, everybody's going to be eating food. And then some people are going to come
Mhm.
because they really want to be there. Some people are going to say, sorry, you can't make it. And then 2 days later, your work's going to be looking for somebody else to fill your space. Your family's still going to be grieving. But slowly, you're going to slowly just disappear for the most part to the world. Now your family's going to remember you and miss you. So if that's how it's going to be that quick, why are you going to live your life for somebody else? Just live your life how you want to live it. Either people are going to like you or they're not going to like you. Either way, at the end of the day, the only person you have to answer to is you or God.
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic.
And you feel like that is how we together as two individuals have come together, and our love is unapologetic because we have very similar views, people, very similar views. And we both are drawn to realness, would you say?
Yep. And we have the circle. We don't have a ton of friends that we do stuff with, and
Because I don't have time for the nonsense, and neither does he.
sometimes by choice, because you know how life gets. First, you spend
Keep talking, keep talking. I'm about
eight to
grab this.
12 hours a day working,
Keep
then
talking.
driving home,
Sorry, people. Just give me a moment, please. Give me a moment, please. Keep on talking.
and so the amount of the time you do have, I want to spend, especially I want to spend it with the people I want that they don't have to have my same views, but what's up with that?
What's up with what?
Hello.
Hey,
Um,
we here.
They don't have to have the same views, but my time is precious. So we have some friends that are I think of all the people I hang out with and talk with, they're very the same. They are who they are. Some of them are acquired taste, and I've acquired the taste to be around them. Um, but they're all just straight up. And we've tried to teach our kids that. My daughter, especially, some girls like her, some don't, but she's cool with that.
And that's fine, because guess what? You don't need to like, everybody doesn't need to like you. It's
No.
not about that. Again, one of the things that you will learn about me at this stage in my life, and he's been this way for a very long time, and it's something that I have had to learn, is that I'm not here for anybody else to feel as though they need to make approvals when it comes to who I am as an individual, as a woman. I am here for myself. It's not about people pleasing no more, people. It's not about people pleasing no more. It's about who are you as a person? Where are you in your journey?
And if you're good with that, then the people that you do interact with, the interaction will be good, and they will feel your love as a friendship to them,
They're going to support you.
and they will feel how you, like we just went on a trip to Cancun.
Yes, we
and
did. To celebrate our anniversary.
And Major and Sarah, when you listen to this, you guys are young, but it doesn't even click in my brain that you guys are young.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't, because you guys are just real,
good
people, and just real. And you guys are old souls, and I love it. So
yeah, we
appreciate your friendship.
Yes, we do. We do. What would you say is what are you most proud of in our 15 years together?
That we have two beautiful kids that are both grinders. They're figuring out their own way, and we've given them a leash to do that. And the fact we're still rocking after 15 years.
After 15 years, because that is
there's times I think both of us would be like, peace. But bigger picture said
him to the curb, y'all.
But bigger picture, the bigger picture, you pull that bigger picture, you're like, man, maybe, like, she goes on a trip, first day, woo, I'm doing whatever I want to do in this house for like 5 hours. And then I'm like, all right, when she get home? So I'd say that's the most.
You be missing me, don't you? He be missing me. If you had to describe our ride, notice how I use the word ride.
Our ride?
In one word.
One word, our ride in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
One word. An adventure.
Oh, that's a good one.
Adventure.
It has been an adventure. It has been an adventure. A good one though, right?
And my parents are hitting their, I think they're gonna have 60. And I thought, man, that's 45 more years than what me and Devon have.
And my mom and dad just celebrated their 50th.
Hi. But I just took them to dinner this last weekend. Well, took them to dinner on Saturday.
Yesterday.
And yeah. That's love. That to be with somebody that long, there's no other way you're getting through that but love.
It ain't about how you look, people.
Nope. Because they're both way up in age. Yeah.
It's a commitment.
That's love.
It is a commitment that you make to one another. And guess what? I feel like our story has so many other pieces of it that we haven't even touched on. But unless you guys are trying to be in one of those 3.5 hour concerts, we're not doing that today. But what we are going to do is we're going to take a moment. Oh, before I drop this, let me make sure that yeah. Coming straight from my heart. This episode on Unapologetically Dee, episode 4, y'all. Obviously near and dear to my heart because this one right here, he's not really a get in front of the camera type of a person and do this. But for me, over 25 years in sales and just being around people and a cycle instructor, come and hang out with me, by the way, because it's a vibe. This is kind of my circle. This is my play area. This is my sandbox. He's more behind the scenes. How you gonna make it work? But here we are together, loving each other.
Help. No, I'm just joking. Help. If somebody's here, listen to this, help me. No, to wrap it up, yeah, I wouldn't ride or die with anybody else with this one.
Right? Back to back, making sure. If we need to juice somebody, if you know, you got to be watching, what was the name of that show we used to watch? Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up by saying thank you so much for joining Unapologetically Dee. If you are new to the channel, we have real people, real voices, and I want to make a real impact. I thank you, my love, my man, for joining me on this episode to talk about how we became from side-eye to soulmate.
Just make sure you put the deposit in my bank. No, thanks for watching, guys.
And with that being said,
this is all I'm proud of her. She's putting all this together, and I'm just saying, just do your thing. Do your thing, man.
So supportive. That's one thing we didn't touch on, is that this man right here has been nothing short of amazing and so supportive. And I love you.
I love you too.